Hey, yeah, let's cover the lecture for graphing linear equations using a table of solutions. So it's just going to be the part one, graphing basics. So the first thing you need to understand is what is a Cartesian plane or Cartesian coordinate system. And before we even look at this critter, if you have no clue what I'm talking about, you've never seen something like this before, let's start with a number line. You have seen a number line. And a number line is just a horizontal line that has integers. It's actually a representation of all real numbers, right? And we understand that in this direction, it's heading towards negative infinity. In this direction, it's heading towards positive infinity. This is a horizontal line. If we take this and put it here, this is what's considered the x-axis. Same exact concept, okay? It's the x-axis in a Cartesian coordinate system. Now, there's another number line that is the y-axis. Same concept. There's 0 in the middle. Instead of going to the right being positive and the left being negative, this one going up is positive and down is negative. This allows us to talk about a coordinate that has two numbers involved with it. Instead of just the coordinate 4, we can talk about one that actually involves two numbers, and it gives it a little bit more accuracy as far as heading in a direction, okay? It just allows us to do something different. Now, one of the things you need to understand is, as I just said, if from 0, if you're going to the right, it's positive. If you're going up, it's positive. So anything to the right and up is going to be positive. If you're going to the left, it's negative. And if you're going down, it's negative. Before we even get into anything further with the numbers themselves, you need to understand that the coordinates that we're going to be referring to are based on the x, y numbers. So x always has to come first, just as it does in the alphabet, and followed by y. And that's how it's always read as well. So when you are creating a point or looking for a point on the system, you're always going to be looking for your x first, then followed by the y, not the other way around. Okay. If both x and y are positive, I've got quadrant 1 here for you to show that they're both positive. In quadrant 2, x would be negative because it's going to be to the left of 0, but y is positive because it's going up. So this is quadrant 2. Quadrant 3 is down here where x is negative and y is negative. And then quadrant 4 is where x is positive, but y is negative, right? So let's go a little further with this. An ordered pair, xy, is in the form xy. Note that the x coordinate is always listed first in an ordered pair. It helps to think alphabetically, x comes before y. The origin is the center. It's the ordered pair right here, and that is 0, 0. That is the origin. It's where they cross, the x and y axis cross. So let's come down here and practice some plotting. I'm going to do the first one. Then I want you to pause the video and attempt the next ones yourself. Try to use a pencil so that you can erase in case there's any mistakes made. The one thing I'm going to tell you about this, when you plot a point, all right, it says plot and determine the quadrant for each of the following ordered pairs. So the first thing I'm going to have you do is label your quadrants 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're always Roman numerals and they're in counterclockwise order. You're going to be using this if you're moving on to college algebra trigonometry. If you are moving to problem solving or statistics, you will never see this, the quadrant piece. You do need to know how to do the plotting points, however. All right. So starting off with 7, 3, I've got x and y. So my x is a positive 7. From my origin, I'm going to go positive 7 for x. So over here to 7. Do not plot your point now. You don't plot your point till after you've plotted the y. And y is -3. Because it's negative, I have to go down for y. 1, 2, 3. Now's when you plot your point and you label the point. It's 7, -3. That's it. So the quadrant for this one is 4. I would like for you to pause the video, attempt the next ones yourself, and then come back to see how you did. I'm going to keep going. All right, for the next one, my x is -2, my y is 8. So from the origin, I'm going to go left 2 because x is negative. And then don't plot your point yet. I'm going to go y is 8. It's positive, so I have to go up. Plot my point and name my baby. All right, this is in quadrant 2. The next one, they're both positive, which means it's going to be up here in quadrant 1. I'm going to go from the origin to the right 8 for my x, and then I'm going to go up 5 for my y. Plot my point, name my baby. All right. The next one, they're both negative, so that's going to be in quadrant 3 because that's where x is negative and y is negative. I'm going to go to the left 5 because it's -5. Don't plot your point. Shame on me. And then down to now plot your point and name your baby. -5, -2. So the whole name your baby thing is whenever I was teaching students years ago to do this, I actually had to do with naming the lines that we'll be doing later. Your mama gave you a name, so you need to name this. So name your baby has always been my kind of shtick for remembering to name the point or the line. The next two are kind of trick. The thing you need to remember is x is 0 here. So if x is 0, you're not going left or right. You're staying smack dab where you are at on that origin. And we're just going to go with the y value, which is down 6. Plot that point, name your baby. And this is not in any quadrant at all. This is on the y-axis. And then the last one, starting at the origin, my x value is +2, 1, 2. My y value is nothing. So I'm plotting that point and I'm naming it. And it is on the x-axis. If you have any questions as we're going through this, please make note of it so that we can have a conversation either via Zoom or in person if you're local. All right, the next ones are determine the coordinates for each of the graph order pairs. So I'll do the first one. C, D, and E. And we're going to have ordered pairs. All right, for the first one, here is A. From the origin, I'm having to go to the left 6, so -6 for my x. And then I have to go up to 4. I would like for you to pause the video and attempt the next ones yourself. I'm going to continue. For B, it's right up here. I'm going to go to the right 7, so +7, and going up 6, so +6. C is right here. I have to go from the origin left 8, -8, and then down 2, so -2. Remember, it's left or right first, and then up or down. Okay. Next one is D. Right here, I have to go to the right 4, and then down to -7. Because it's between -6 and -8, so it has to be -7. And then E is on the x-axis, but I have to go 5 to the right to get to it, and then it's not going up or down. That is it for that section. Rosie, stop it. She does that. A solution to a linear equation. A linear equation is just a line that has 2 variables. And it's an ordered pair, x, y, that creates a true statement when plugged into the equation. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is just going to plug and chug and then simplify to see if it works. We've done something like this before. This is not new. We're just adding new words because now we know that 1, 5 is a representation of x and y, And over here in our solutions is trying to see if it's a solution for this here. We've done this plug and chug before. So we need to remember this is X and Y in these order pairs. I'm going to take Y equals 7X minus 5, and everywhere there's an X, I'm going to put a 1. Everywhere there's a Y, I'm going to put a 5. And then I'm going to simplify both sides to see if they're equal. If they are equal, then 1, 5 is a solution to this linear function. If it's not, then it's not a solution. All right, I'm going to do the first one. Then I'm going to pause. I want you to pause the video and then go do the other 3 yourself and come back to see how you did. So Y is 5, X is 1, 5 is going to stay where it is. It's already simplified. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 minus 5 is 2. 5 does not equal 2, so 1, 5 is not a solution. I want you to try the 0, -5, the -2, -16, and the 3, 16, and then come back to see how you did. All right, Y equals 7X minus 5. Where the Y is, I'm putting -5. Where the X is, I'm putting 0. 7 times 0 is 0. They do equal. So 0, -5 is a solution. Let's try -2, -16. I always rewrite the equation. I find it's easier to, I make fewer mistakes as opposed to having to look up here and say, okay, going back and forth. I don't know if y'all struggle with that same thing. So Y is -16. Do what works for you. 7 times X is -2. All right, bring down your -16. 7 times -2 is -14. Negative and a negative, you add them and keep the sign. 14 plus 5 is 19, does not equal. So not a solution. Last one, Y equals 7X minus 5. Y is 16. X is 3. 7 times 3 is 21. And that is 16. Double check myself. I can multiply, but I can't add and subtract to save my life. 21 minus 5. Yep. Whoop, whoop. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So 316 is a solution to this linear function, to this linear equation. Okay. All right. Last one. Oh, this one's going to be fun. So this one, they're wanting us to find, and this one they want us to find, because remember it's X and Y. They're giving us X and we have to solve for Y. This one they're giving us Y, we have to solve for X. And this one they're giving us X, we need to solve for Y. So I'm not going to do anything but plug and chug and then simplify, okay, to find the values I need. So the first one they're giving me, I'm going to rewrite X, 5X minus 5Y equals 20. And they're telling me that X is 0. I'm going to finish this one, and then I want you to pause the video and attempt the next 2 yourself to give yourself a chance to do it, and then come back to see how you did. So 5 times 0 is 0. That's gone. Minus 5y equals 20. Now, -5 is multiplied to y. The opposite of multiplication is division, so I have to divide both sides of the equal sign by -5. And y equals 20 divided by -5 is -4. So our first order pair is 0, -4. I want you to go through and do the -2 for y and then the 1 for x. Come back to see how you did. Pause the video, please. All right, for this one, they're telling us that y, so 5x minus 5, y is -2. And I just need to simplify. 5x, negative times a negative is a positive. 5 times 2 is 10. Equals 20. I can't combine these. They are not like terms. This is an X, this does not. So I need to move this to the other side. I want to solve for X, which means X has to be all by its little lonesome. So 10 needs to move over. I need to subtract 10 from both sides of the equal sign to get it over there. This is gone. I'm left with 5x is equal to 10. 5 is multiplied to x. Opposite multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 5. And x equals 2. So my answer is not 2. My answer is 2, -2. That's the ordered pair. All right, if you did not pause the video for the last one, please do so for this one. I've got 5 times x, x is 1 in this case, minus 5y equal to 20, solving for y. So we need y by itself on one side. 5 times 1 is 5, bringing everything else down. All right, I want y by itself over here, so I need to get rid of this 5 first. Subtracting 5 from both sides. Gone. -5y is equal to 15. -5 is multiplied to y, so we have to divide both sides by -5. And y is equal to -3. So my order pair for this one is 1, -3. That's it for this video. Let me know what questions you have. Happy to help, and then we'll see you in the next video.